Hey guys, and welcome back to my channel. Okay, so a lot of things has changed since the last time we've talked. I think that the last time I talked to you guys, I told you guys, well, basically it was explaining where I had been and the reason why it had took me a few months to get back to you guys. And then I think I did the Warhead Challenge with my sisters. And then I know for a fact the last video I posted was the DIY sugar body scrub. Okay. So what you guys don't know is, and I didn't tell anybody, only my family and people at work, was that I moved. I moved back to Texas. And the reason why I say I moved back to Texas is because I think it was 2 years ago I had moved away the first time and decided to come back home because it didn't really work out. So I decided to just go ahead and step out on faith and try it again. Yes, I was very much scared, very much nervous to do this, but I had been thinking about it for a long time, and my aunt had basically been trying to tell me, you need to get out there, you need to try again, because you're young, you need to go ahead and try to get yourself together. And I figured, if I'm really meant to go, I will go. So let me give y'all a little story on that. So I remember that the day I actually called my aunt Shell, about how I was basically fed up. I was ready to leave. I have been going to work. I have been working a year and I think a few months at the job that I had. I was very fed up with the job because I felt like, for one, that I wasn't going anywhere, and two, I felt like that the longer I stayed there, the more I was kind of depressed, I guess you could say, because I was working at a place that I didn't like, and I, even though I was very thankful that I had the job, I didn't like it, and I didn't want to work there anymore. And then there was so much going on personally, and I just knew it was time to go. I actually knew it was time to leave and start over when I started resenting the people around me. When I started like everything this person did just made me angry, or everything this person said, it was just, I just was starting to resent people when really it was my decision. Like, the ultimate decision was mine, like whether I should stay or go. And the reality of the situation with me was, I wanted to leave, but I was afraid of going. I was afraid of starting over. I was afraid of starting my life over in a new place. I was just afraid to do it because of the simple fact that I thought I was going to fail. Because the first time I left, stuff didn't go right. So I was like, okay, what if I leave again and the same thing happened again? I don't find a job. I don't learn how to drive there. So the place I moved to now, I will not put my location, but the place I moved to in Texas is actually better. I like this area a little bit more. I live closer to my cousins, because that's one thing I can't say about the first time I left. I wasn't closer to them, and I really missed them. I really missed talking to my cousins, and I missed hanging out with them, and I felt that it was just time to do that. So I did. I got in the car because I actually left. I actually moved. The official day that I left Mississippi to Texas was actually Saturday. I think it was the 11th. August 11th is when I left. I left at like 5 in the morning, and I got here in Texas about maybe 5, I think. And it was the longest drive because I actually, instead of riding with my aunt like I did when I came back home, I actually got my car and followed behind her. And it was hard. Like, it was very hard because, I mean, driving for 10, 11, 12 hours, stopping a few times to stretch my legs and of course use the bathroom and eat. It was very hard. Like, I've never driven that far before, and it's hard. Like, it's just hard. It's just hard to do. But I do know that because I did it, I know I'm officially can do it again. I mean, it was a little nerve-wracking trying to keep up with her, and it was funny because, it took me out my comfort zone because I never driven that far before. I never driven through a city like that, and it became a little easier. I'm not saying that it's going to be easy living here, but I will say that I got a job. Praise the Lord, I got a job. I started next week. That's And the best thing about that is I've been praying and talking to God about it, and he knew more than anything that I wanted nothing more than to be able to just go out and do it. And that's one thing I can say that I am a witness to, is that God listens. He listens to every prayer. I've prayed on this. I was praying on if I should leave or not. I was praying on my depression because I hated feeling the way I was feeling, and I knew it was because God wasn't in my life like he needed to be. And I realized that, oh, you want all of this stuff, but the one thing you're missing in the goals that you are setting is you're missing God. You're missing him in your life. And if you really want things to work out, you can't have your life without him. And that was something that I really needed to work on. And I'm not perfect. That's something that I know for a fact that I am not perfect. So it has taken me a long time to actually fully just like accept the fact that, okay, even though because even though in the past I was like, I believe in God, I know he blesses, I just always felt like I could handle situations on my own. And, even though I give him thanks for everything that I have in my life, he wasn't fully there. Like, I didn't talk to him, and I didn't talk to him and pray to him all that much. I was barely going to church as it was, because I worked in a place where I had to work every Sunday, and it was either I opened up early and I couldn't leave to go to church, or it was I worked so late the night before that I was too tired to get up early to go to church. It was just a lot. So I'm very thankful, and I give God all the praise on it, because I prayed super hard on it. I was like, Lord, I'm nervous about moving, but I have to have my faith in you. I can't lose faith in you. And I didn't. I prayed on the drive up here. I was like, I prayed that we get here safely, that we got here safely. I prayed that we had no obstacle, we had no stops. We just was able to do what we needed to do, and we got here safely. It may have been late, but we got here safely. And then I prayed about the job. I prayed about how, if it was, because I honestly knew that if it was meant for me, it was going to happen. So I went ahead and I did it, and I'm happy that I got the job. I'm very thankful and very blessed. And I've always felt, I remember telling my mother at the beginning of this year that I feel like this is my year. This is the year where stuff is going to happen. So I've been working on this journey where I said that I wanted nothing but peace and happiness. Peace and happiness. And I know people are like, oh, peace and happiness, but it's bigger than what you think, because when you have true peace and true happiness, you don't desire nothing else. You are truly happy and at peace with your life. And that was my ultimate goal. Like, I want to be so much in happy. I want to be so happy and fulfilled and in love with God that I don't desire nothing else. And I've always said, and I came to the conclusion that peace and happiness and my relationship with him was the goal, and everything will fall into place. I will get the job. I'll get the job. I'll get my own place. I'll find a great guy. I'll have kids. I'll get married. All that stuff. I wanted everything that I want and desire in life, I will get as soon as I accept that. I, for one, have to love myself. I have to be confident in myself. And I have to have pure and 100% faith in him. And that was something that I struggled with. So, yeah, I moved to Texas with a very, very, very big prayer on the way down here. And before I even made the decision, before the time of me leaving, I said a prayer when I got here. I said my prayers before. I remember waking up this morning before I even went to the interview. I said a very big prayer. I got up. I was actually sitting on the toilet, using the bathroom. I just said my prayers. And I was, I basically let him know that if it was his will, it's his way. If I'm meant to get this job, I will get this job. If I don't get this job, it is not the end of the world. I will get a job. Even if it's not with them, it will be a job. And I will be thankful for that job, regardless on whatever job it is. I was prepared for that. I was mentally prepared for them to not to say, oh, you need to get the job. And just to hear them say, okay, you'll start your training on Monday. And I'm like, I got the job. You're like, you got your job. And I'm like, oh, I got the job. I'm so excited. So that was the first blessing. Well, no, wrong. The first blessing was me getting here safely. That was the first blessing. The second blessing is when I went to church with my aunt and had the most amazing time. I cried. I enjoyed it. The message was great. I understood it. That was the second blessing. I got my blessing that day too. The third blessing was I went to the place to tell them about how I applied, and they had set me up for. They had actually, the survey that we took had actually, I was qualified for several of the companies. Was actually not the company, several of the branches, and that was another blessing because even though the job that I had applied for, I could get hired at different departments in that company, so that was a blessing. Another blessing was I got the interview. That was a blessing, and that the blessing today was I got the job. That was the best blessing. So I'm very happy. I'm very happy and very much at ease. I'm not stressed out like I was before. I'm actually 100% happy that I actually decided to move again because things are starting to look up for me. When I felt like they were not looking up for me, that's when I started to give up. I started to get depressed and I stopped praying. And that's one thing that I have to say. You can't stop praying when your life gets hard. Because that's when you really, really have to keep him in your life. Because the devil is going to try you. He's going to try you. He's going to make sure that you are at your lowest of low. And that's when you really need to keep God in your life. He will be there for you regardless. And even after you get the blessing, you have to still pray to him, be faithful to him. You can't forget him when you get the blessing. And that's some things that I have done in the past where after I got the blessing, I just completely forgot about him. And that's how I lost it. And now I know that I don't want to ever do that again. And I'm not perfect. Like I said, I'm not perfect. I have my flaws. There are some days where I actually do forget to pray, but I'll make up for it. Yeah. This was an update video, and then I started talking about God. But I'm just so thankful and so blessed that I can't hold it in. I have to tell somebody. So I figure when I tell my beautiful and handsome, if there are any guys out there, subscribers, because it's true. I am genuinely happy, and I want to tell everyone that I am happy. So I'm telling you guys. I'm letting the world know. But yeah, that's all I pretty much had to say. Just wanted to update you guys. So make sure that you like and subscribe, share if you like, and I'll see you guys next time. Bye.